Hello, and welcome to the USS Sovereign Star Trek Adventures RPG live play. Oh man, we're 2 seconds in, and already my fatigue is taking over. So welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our live play of Star Trek Adventures and the crew of the USS Sovereign. If it's your first time, welcome. Tonight we're doing something a little bit different than we normally do. Normally we play Star Trek Online, but we're going to be doing a weekly Star Trek Adventures RPG live play on Friday nights. And we have our crew. We're missing a couple of crew tonight, but that's okay. We're going to move forward. So tonight we have Panda and Selleck and Lance and James and Nova. And so, so last week, the crew on the ship entered the anomaly around this unknown M-class planet, and discovered that there was an NX-class starship within the anomaly that was reported missing over 200 years prior. And the away team was on the planet, and they, in the first episode, were in a brief firefight with what appeared to be a deranged crew member from the NX ship, and they subdued them, and they boarded them, took them, and everybody got back onto the captain's yacht or the commander's boat, depending on which command officer you ask. And they are headed back to the ship, and on the way they noticed some strange sensor readings and discovered that there were some Romulan mines in the vicinity, and discovered that there were some mines in the anomaly with the ship. So we will start, we'll continue on with our away team crew on board the captain's yacht.
I did have one quick question.
Sure.
But sadly, it's disappeared out of my brain. Okay, never mind. So yeah, we've just scanned the mines, and we found that the Sovereign is approaching the mines, and we can't make contact with the Sovereign.
That is correct, and I'll switch over to the map inside the anomaly. So this is what you've discovered, is that there are two mines that are still cloaked, right? So you guys have identified their location, but you're unsure uh, if the sovereign is aware that they are present. So technically, they are still in fact cloaked and unseen.
I believe it would be unwise to assume the Sovereign has detected the mines. It does not appear to be aware of them. We can't communicate with them to
Oh
warn
my
them.
god! Oh.
So we are going to need to enter the anomaly and most likely rejoin with the ship in order to warn them. Because there's very little we can do out here if we can't get in touch with them. Thoughts?
Commander, I recommend caution. In fact, I am wondering if I recognize a pattern to the way the mines are set up.
Are you
Go on.
asking if you recognize a
Yes.
pattern? Would you like to do something about that? I don't know what you know, but I can tell you what you can find out.
Okay. Yes. I would like to know if that is something that I have learned in my training, that I can recognize the layout of the patterns of the mines, and if it is something that I have seen before.
So
And
you're saying that like what of your security / tactical training, what information would that give you?
Yes, given
All
what
right,
we
so
do see.
yeah, sure. So why don't you give me an insight security check with a difficulty of 0, and you have 5. You guys are at 5 momentum, just so you know. So
Momentum.
yeah. So if you get a
Yeah.
success, you can bank it, or you can ask additional questions or whatever. So.
And would the observation focus apply to this?
Yes.
You sound really questionable about this.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's when you're observing something that's happening, as
Okay.
opposed to just like looking at how, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'll say yes. I'll say yes.
Okay.
Sure.
All
You can
right.
use it.
All
You
right.
can use it.
You said insight security.
Insight security. Yep.
9 plus 4. All right.
9 plus 4, so that's 13.
Oh, crap.
Has the first roll of the game gone badly?
Not that bad, but yep, a 7 and a 20.
A 7 and a 20.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I pushed
So
it there.
one success and 1 complication.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Sure. Okay. So you sort of
migraine.
analyze you're looking at the locations of the power signatures on the grid, and it's clear that the anomaly has affected their layout pattern, and from what you can deduce, there is it's pretty clear that from what you've learned in the history of aggressor species over the past 200 or 300 years, that this is a pretty common setup for Romulan mines during the Romulan Earth Wars, 200 years in the past. And you sort of try to run another scan to see if you can deduce any more information from how the mines are distanced from each other, like how their activating mechanisms might work. And all of a sudden, there is an alert, and one of the mines, in fact, the one closest to you, arms itself and slowly starts to approach the captain's yacht. So you have
evasive maneuvers.
So you have so you want to do evasive maneuvers? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this would be kind of a similar to combat, but not really, in terms of like you basically have time to do one, maybe two actions before this thing gets to you. So who's piloting the ship, by the way?
It was me.
It was you. Okay.
So I see that activate.
All right. So all right. So the first thing you're going to do is evasive maneuvers.
Evasive maneuvers.
All right. So that's going to be a daring con check with a difficulty of 2.
9 and 3.
If you'd like to spend a momentum to get an extra die, I would recommend that.
You can also the ship can assist. Let me bring up the captain's yacht stats. The ship can assist with an engines con, which is 7 and a 2, so that's a total of 9. So somebody can roll for that. And,
yeah, I'll go ahead and spend a point of momentum and get an extra die there.
If no one else will, I'll roll for the ship.
Well, Selleck, you're also the only player character on the ship at the time. So,
yeah.
You could also help. You could also assist as a co-pilot or something if you wanted.
That I could. See, my daring con are like my worst stats.
It wouldn't be a daring con. You could, if you could tell me how you could assist in a different way.
Could I command evasive maneuvers commandingly? And
can you command evasive maneuvers commandingly?
Yes.
So you're asking if
what you know is who you know.
So that's not really an assist. That's more like a minor action where you're like you like, you know, if you want to physically do something, like if you're sitting next to her at another console and you want to do something interacting with the ship wise, like, you know, to try to.
Could he reroute extra power to the inertial dampers?
I mean,
that's not a bad idea.
Sure. Okay. So that would be an assisting role, and we'll call that a let's do a control engineering.
Okay.
What number is that for you?
That's 14. That's
14.
Much better than 9.
All right. All right. So currently you would be rolling 4 dice on a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
I do have an advisor talent, which means if I'm assisting,
Yep.
the other player gets to re-roll a die.
Okay.
So Nova, if you do roll badly, re-roll it.
If you roll another
it's one die, right? It's one
just
die,
the one.
right?
It's just the
Okay.
one.
Just one
Yeah.
of your
All right.
after all the dice are rolled, any of your dice you can re-roll. So
Okay. All right.
all right, so you guys good with the 4
Ready?
dice?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Oh crap! That one just hit the floor.
Oh, you can re-roll that one for free.
All right. 11, 17, and 12. And you said it was Daring Con.
Yeah.
I was wrong against.
So what'd you
That's
roll?
a 9 and a 3. I got 2 successes, the 11 and 12.
Did you roll
You
3
could
dice?
risk it and
I rolled 3 dice, yes.
Oh, did you
And
buy
I
a
had
die?
17. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Momentum.
Okay. So, all right. So that's going to go down by 1. All right. So
You could risk it and re-roll the 17.
This is 2 successes already.
Yeah, but
And you needed
extra
to.
momentum never hurts.
an extra complication never hurts either.
I know that.
Okay. Sovek rolled a 6, so adds a success.
And somebody roll for the ship. Selleck, you can. Why don't you roll for the ship? Since you're the only one on the ship, Selleck.
Okay. The ship needed what? 9?
9.
9.
Yeah.
It rolled a 3, so that's another success.
Yeah. All right. And I'm sorry, Nova. What were the numbers that you rolled?
11, 12, and 17.
11, 12, 17.
2 successes.
Okay. So that's two successes, 1 success, 1 success. So that's a total of 4 successes. Okay. So you have two momentum. All right. So you have 2 momentum. So as soon as you see that the mine is heading towards you, you know you're already at the con. You punch in. You start moving the ship away from the mine. So you have 2 points of momentum. You can bank both of them if you want, and then we'll move on to whatever your next action is that you want to do before the mine hits you.
I mean, is there really anything we could do with the momentum right now?
I mean, you could spend it to. If you spent the 2 momentum, I would give you an additional action before the mine hits you.
Oh.
Oh, well, the evasive maneuver's not successful.
No, the evasive maneuvers were successful.
We're not going to get hit immediately.
Okay.
But
all right.
I am wondering if the mine has a way of tracking us.
We may need to detonate this mine.
We may need to blow it up. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, the extra action. Target it and fire.
So you already have after you finish this task, you will have one more task before the mine may or may not hit you because it's moving towards you.
Okay.
So you can you will have another action if you want to use to fire and use weapons. So do you want to use this momentum now, or do you want to bank it for that action?
We will bank it then.
Okay. All right. So that's going to go into there.
I mean, I'll take suggestions, but I do think targeting and destroying the mine is likely our best course here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're successfully heading away from the mine, but the mine is still following you. So you could continue doing these checks and just run in circles around the planet and not get hit by the mine until either.
It's not very productive.
I mean, whatever. It's up to you. But so what would you like to do? So what would you like to do next?
Target and fire.
You do have, as I mentioned before, the captain's yacht has phaser banks and micro torpedoes.
Even on such a small ship, that's got to be more firepower than that mine was ever expecting to encounter when it was built.
Well, yeah, the mine's also 200 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you do as long as you do 1 damage to the mine, you'll be okay.
Okay. What kind of role would the targeting and the firing be?
That would be a So who is doing what? So somebody would have to fire. So that would be a well, I'll tell you what. You tell me what you want to do, and then I'll tell you what you're going to have to roll against.
Okay, since you're at the helm, Nova, I should probably do the firing. I will move to the relevant console and fire presumably aft phasers at the mine.
Okay.
All right. So that's going to be a what is versatile to do? I don't have these. Oh my gosh. I have to update my weapon qualities because apparently these have stuff from different books in them. All right. So That's going to be a control security check to fire the phasers.
Mm.
And it's going to be a difficulty of 2. The ship can assist with its weapons security, which is an 8.
Its
Okay.
weapons plus security is an 8?
Yeah, its weapons are 7 and its security is 1. This
Ouch.
is the captain's yacht.
Oh, that's
This is the
fair.
captain's yacht.
I will definitely
Okay.
be buying a dice.
Nova can also assist if you want to tell me how
Bye.
you would do that.
You could steady the ship while I'm taking the shot to make it easier to.
Yes.
So that would be a control con for you.
Okay. So that's a 10 plus 3.
Okay, yeah, and I'm definitely buying a dice.
And that's
All right.
one
So
die.
spending 1 momentum.
So it's 1 die for Nova, 1 die for the ship, and two dice for Selleck, and you're going
3.
to buy one?
Yep.
And what's your target number for control security?
This was control security, 13.
13. Okay. It will cut. The ship has 4 power. You will spend 1 power to fire the phasers.
Okay.
So I will be rolling
3.
my die to help steady the ship, and
Yep.
then the ship's die.
Yep, you can do that. And then
Okay.
let me just... All right, so why don't you guys go ahead and do that while I look up something here. So you guys can roll when you're ready. If you're good. Oh, and you're buying a die, so let me take that momentum away there. Oops. There we go. Let me know what you got.
So I have good news and bad news. I succeeded. I got 2 successes, but I rolled a 20.
We're
So
just
what?
having all
So
fun
what were your
tonight.
numbers?
8, 6, and 20.
8, 6, and 20. And Nova, what did the ship roll?
The ship rolled a 2.
Oh, okay.
Woo!
Yeah.
And what did you roll?
I rolled an 11 against a 13.
Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. And a complication. Ooh, man, I love these. I love these complications.
Yeah, my go-to complication was always they get a migraine.
All right, so that was a difficulty of 2. So you have 2 temporary momentum. All right. So you can only bank 1. You can, I believe you can buy. Yeah. So you can. So do either of you have the challenge dice, the effects dice?
No.
The little black ones, right?
Yeah. Nova, you've got those,
Yep.
right? All right.
Yep.
So you're going to be rolling 4.
4?
Yeah, you're going to be rolling 4, but hang on. Before you do that, do you want to... so you need 1 damage to destroy... you need 1 damage to destroy the... You need 1 damage to destroy the mine.
Okay.
Do you want... You can also spend a momentum... You can also spend a momentum to increase the damage.
Could we also spend it to get the power back that we're using? Is that an option?
No, that would require another task.
Okay, never mind.
A power management task.
Okay, so if I spend that extra momentum instead of losing it, I get 1 more die?
Mm-mm.
Like,
You get an
that
automatic damage.
I get an automatic damage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Splendid.
no rolling needed.
Yeah. Well, you
Okay.
still need to roll because there's some other stuff that might happen. But plus, it's
the
fun to roll
effects.
dice.
Yes, it's fun.
Like,
Otherwise, why in the
would you
world
not?
did I roll with a zero, or a complicate, or a
All right. So
with a challenge rating of 0? Yes.
you want to
Yes.
spend
Okay.
one to do the damage, right?
Yeah. Do
So
the
at
damage.
May
least,
as well.
So at least
So
you
I
blow it up.
just-
All right. So roll
Okay.
roll the 4 dice.
4 dice. All right.
Although,
And we get. Oh, look at that!
all right. How many bursts? How many bursts did you roll?
No bursts.
No bursts. Oh
No
wow!
bursts.
It's a good thing you bought that damage.
But look at what I did roll.
Did you roll any shields, delta shields?
Oh, you're gonna like this. Well, at least he will like this. That's what I rolled.
3. Okay, so I have some good news and some bad news. And we still haven't gotten to the complication yet, so there's actually
Of
more
course
bad
not.
news.
Of course.
All right, so the good news is that you rolled 3 effects. The bad news is that the effects of your phasers is versatile, which the attack gains X points of bonus momentum if successful. So basically, you've generated 3 momentum. Oh, you know what you can do? You know what you can do? Actually, you know what you should do? Is you
Spend
can
momentum to remove the complication.
you can spend 2 momentum to remove the complication.
Yep.
All right.
There we
Since
go.
we've got
That's
got 3 extra.
and that's probably a good idea.
Oh, yep. Spend 2 of those to remove the
All right.
complication.
So you have 1 more left. Do you want to bank it? Oh, by the way,
I thought we were full.
no, you bought.
And
He bought a die. You had 6. He bought a die for this roll, and then, so.
But we got 2 momentum out of that roll
Yeah.
because we were 2 over the 2.
Correct.
So we would have gotten.
So you had 2 momentum. She spent 1 for a damage, so that gave you 1, and then she rolled. Oh, so actually, you should have 2.
3
You have 2 unused momentum. You have 2 unused momentum, so you can bank 1 of them, and
Okay.
I don't know what you want to do with the rest,
And
but
then 1 that. I don't know. What could we do with the other one?
I mean, there's not much because you're trying to blow up the thing and you've
Yeah.
succeeded, so it doesn't.
Can we
You
blow it up so well we detonate all of the mines?
No.
Can we
No.
cause a chain reaction?
Chain reaction.
No. You've saved.
Darn
You've
it.
Can we
successfully saved
360
yourself.
no scope
but-
this?
Yay.
And you've avoided the complication. So,
Yay.
you can
Okay.
blow it up into smaller pieces. How about that? All right. So you, as you're heading away from the mine, Selleck, you jump right into the you bring up the tactical console. You fire phasers. You tell Nova to you tell Hisar to Sovek jumps to the tactical console. You order Hisar to steady the ship. She kind of slows it down a little bit, and gives you a nice easy path to fire. You lock onto the target and fire, and you successfully. Oh, what the? All right. Well, that's disappointing. Where's my? Oh, here it is. Sorry. There.
Nice.
You successfully blow
We're all
up
supposed to rock in our chairs.
the mine. No, I mean you were fine.
James,
You're
put on your
fine.
seatbelt.
So you successfully blown up the mine, so that mine is gone. And yeah, you've avoided any further complications to the scenario. I did want to mention somebody in chat was talking about how the mine is 200 years old and that it's still working. Well, it's from 200 years ago, but it may not have been around here for 200 years. They are next to a very suspicious anomaly that has already made a 200-year-old ship appear. So It is not necessarily a 200-year-old mine, but it was first used 200 years ago. So anyway.
Did we check the best before date before it exploded?
All right, so you successfully avoided that particular mine.
Excellent. So, any other suggestions beyond entering the anomaly to rejoin the ship? Since the Sovereign, I believe, is still dangerously close to a mine it probably hasn't detected.
Nothing else that I can think of at the moment.
Then the only question is, do we want to regain the power before we enter the anomaly? Well, I think that's a yes.
Yep, so that's going to be... Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so you want to regain the power?
Yes, we don't have a lot of it.
So it's a control. No, it's a reason engineering.
Splendid.
And it's
My best stats.
Panda, do you have that? You don't have that particular thing, right? I think the way it goes is
Power management is a daring or control plus engineering task.
Yeah, and it's a difficulty of 0, and then you have to spend 2 momentum per power to regain. I think is how it works.
What you sent me says daring or control plus engineering, difficulty of 2, which can succeed at cost, capitalized.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And on a success, the ship regains 1 power. Plus 1 power per
momentum. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So it is a difficulty of 2. Sorry. Thank you, Panda.
I really am kind of the engineer.
What's that?
Nothing.
You really are the engineer?
I guess so.
Well, you saved me from having to look it up. So, and I knew half of it anyway. All right. So so it's a reason engineering difficulty of 2.
Wasn't it control
engineering? Yes, control engineering.
All right, let's keep this rolling. So I'm going to spend a momentum to get a 3rd die, and then give this baby a roll.
And do you want Hisar to assist you at all?
No.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
I'll hold the flashlight up.
Okay, I got the 2 successes and no complication.
Great.
Cool.
All right. And you don't need to spend any more power to regain that momentum to regain the power, so you're back up to 4. And that's a success. So great. All right. Anything else? Or are you ready to head in?
I think we're ready to head into the anomaly.
All right. So you order Hisar to
take us in.
What am I doing? I'm on the wrong screen. Here we go. So you order Hisar to take you into the anomaly and follow the USS Sovereign.
Perhaps ill-fated Sovereign, but we're doing it anyway.
That's the spirit. That's that Star Trek optimism we're used to.
I believe in you, Captain, but I have already renamed.
Just so you know, just to remind you, we're in the TNG era, not the Discovery era. So there's a positive. It's always positive here. So,
I'm positive he's dead. How's that?
Oh.
All right. So, oh, geez, that is a tiny. Oh, you know what? I already put one in here. That's funny. All right. So, so you're now entering the anomaly, and you're way down here. Actually, let me get you more in there. All right, so you start to approach the ship. It is very dicey in there, and power is immediately starting to drain. So you're already down to 3 power. Just from needing to, just from the gravitational shears and needing to keep the ship, needing to keep the captain's yacht on a trajectory towards the ship. So.
I think let's attempt to make contact with the ship to see if our proximity helps with the interference we were having last time.
So, how close do you want to get before you try to open the channel?
Well, I want to open a channel as soon as possible.
Okay. All right. So, so you open the channel and you say,
Commander Sovek to the USS Sovereign, can you read me?
there's some static, and nothing. But it does appear as though the signal is just about reaching the ship.
Curious.
So if you were to move closer, you would probably be able to make contact.
Then let's do that.
All right.
Helm, take us in.
So you move closer to the ship, and then you want to try again?
I do indeed.
All right.
This is Commander Sovek to the USS Sovereign. Can anyone hear me?
This is... Read you, Commander.
Captain, it is agreeable to know you are not dead.
Did you think I was dead?
I believe it is quite common to believe that with you.
I have you know I'm extremely good at survival.
We
Wait.
have scanned several mines in the system. Are you aware of them?
Mines? What kind of mines?
Romulan mines, apparently several hundred years old.
Several hundred years old, that doesn't make any sense. Then again, we have encountered a NX-class starship, which would actually date around that time.
Fascinating.
Let's get you guys back aboard.
Agreed. So, yeah, while docking, I just want to transmit the location of the mines that we scanned to the Sovereign.
Sure. Okay. So you send that transmission, and so now the Sovereign and the crew are aware of the location of the mines within the anomaly and the third one that's back around the planet. All right. So you guys want to try to dock?
Yes. I'm concerned by the try in that sentence, but yes.
All right.
You really didn't think this would be easy, did you, Commander?
All right. So this is going to be. So Hassar's still at the con. So this is going to be a difficulty. Hang on, let me check my difficulty range here.
My inventory is fine, Brent.
This is going to be a difficulty 4 task and will cost 1 power to do.
Wait, did you say difficulty 4?
Difficulty of 4.
Oh, holy camoly.
So,
Buy all the
can I
dice.
assist?
Okay, so, and it's going to be a control con check for Hassar. So what's that number for you?
10 and 3.
So that's a 13. The ship can assist with an engines con, which is a 9. Man, it's a good thing this ship is maneuverable. And then Sovek, how would you like to assist?
This is the question. Could I yet again reroute power to engines to help, or would inertial dampeners help to alleviate the buffeting of the anomaly?
You said there's no tractor beam on the captain shot, right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
Can the Sovereign provide an assist?
We can if you like.
All right, I'm sorry. What were you guys saying? I had to yell at my kids.
We were asking if the Sovereign can assist.
Not really. Yeah, it's the anomaly is interfering too much with the systems to. This is a pure. You got to pilot it in kind of situation.
Right.
There's no automated docking in this situation.
Okay.
Okay, can I commandily assist? Perhaps by specifically looking at the readouts of like the distances and thing, and being like, a little bit closer, just so that they don't have to look at all of the data.
Oh, jeez. I mean, I would. Okay, so you okay? All right, I understand what you're saying. I would say
I'm doing it commandingly.
I know you keep saying that. I hear you.
I have a good reason.
I hear you. I know you have a good reason. I hear you, but it's tough to apply that in this situation. I would say that if you want to assist in that manner, that is a presence con check.
I don't like that.
Would you like to assist in a different way, perhaps?
Okay, yeah. Could I reroute power to an appropriate system like the inertial dampeners?
Sure. We could do a. I would take either a control or a daring engineering check for that.
That works for me.
And
Okay, so I'm doing.
And this is just one dice.
What? Yeah, that's one die for you. What's the target number for that? Are you going with control or daring?
I'm going with control.
Engineering.
Engineering is a 4, control's a 10, so that's 14.
14. Okay. All right. So right now you're rolling 4 dice on a difficulty of 4.
You should maybe buy some dice.
Do you have any focuses,
Nova.
by the way? Are there any focuses or talents or values that you can apply to this situation?
No, because I don't think chipboard tactical systems would count.
Yeah. Any talents or anything that are applicable?
Talents? No.
Any values?
Minor ground. Values. I am.
Does the assister get to use a focus?
Yes, for your role, yeah.
Yeah, does hands-on engineering count as...
Yep, I would take it.
Okay,
I'd take
splendid.
it. And what your engineers are for? Yeah, any values for either of you that you can use?
The only one I'm thinking that might be possible is never give up, always strive for excellence. But I'm not quite sure how I would.
I do have the value calm under pressure that I feel is very applicable here.
Ooh.
I think only she can use a value in this situation.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
This is going to be a one-shot thing, so I don't see how that would end up being applicable. Unless you think it is.
Never give up. Always strive for excellence. I mean, you tell me if you can convince me that one of your values is applicable, I will.
I
mean, I would say.
Okay. Do you just want to buy some dice then?
I would say I'm always vigilant when dealing with the unknown. Might be an applicable one. Like,
Okay.
have you ever done
right.
this before? Have you ever docked a ship in a gravitational anomaly like this?
No, I have not.
I mean, this is a pretty
At
unknown
least
situation.
At least I presume I have not. Not that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Always vigilant when dealing with the unknown. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, you would spend your 1 point of determination.
Okay.
And that would give you That
gives me
an
a
auto
die.
crit.
That is an automatic 1.
Yes. So that gives you 2 successes. Obviously, you would want to do this after you buy dice, so you're not spending more on dice. So, but you could plan to do that. So, all right.
Okay,
So you've got
determination was always first, though.
Well, it counts as your first die that you buy. So if you
the
want to
first
buy
die.
another die,
yeah. Sorry, you're
so
right.
it's going to be 2 momentum or threat for that second die.
Yep.
Okay. So Selleck, you got 2 dice.
I got 1 dice.
You got 1
so
dice.
he's got
I'm
1, and the
rolling
ship's got
two
1.
single dice things.
The ship's got
Yeah,
1.
yeah.
You've got 2
Okay.
plus 2 successes.
But it's all dependent on what I end up rolling.
Yes.
All
If
right.
you're reasonably confident, I mean, we've already got 2 successes, so we only need 2 more, and we've got 4 attempts at that.
You have
with
6.
the 4 dice.
You have 6 momentum. You have full
And that's another
momentum.
thing.
So you could spend
If
2
you
to
want
buy
to
another die.
spend momentum, 2 momentum to get an extra dice, I would.
Let's do the extra die because if this goes
we don't want to
south,
screw this up.
If this goes south, it's going to go south very quickly and very badly. All right. So determination, 2 successes, extra die with 2 momentum. So I got 3.
So that's
Ready
3.
when you are.
That's 3 for Nova, and Selleck, you're rolling 1 for you and 1 for the ship.
Yep.
All right.
What am I rolling for the ship, by the way? Or was it 9?
That's a 9. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, ready. And there's a 10. There's a 12. And a 3.
All right.
Sweet. There's 3 successes. Plus the 2 for the determination.
Nice. Sovek got a success, and the ship also got a success. No crits.
Great. All right. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7. It's a difficulty of 4. So that's going to give you 3 temporary momentum. Do you want to use? You can bank 2. Yeah, you can bank 2. Do you want to use the other one for anything?
Could we? I don't know. Could we juice up the Sovereign with our power? With that momentum?
No.
Or is okay?
That probably would end up being a separate task.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
Yeah, because all we're doing is trying to land in the shuttle bay.
Well, docking up under the saucer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Could we dock forcefully enough to nudge the Sovereign away from a mine? That's all I can think of.
No, you can't do that.
Then, yeah, I can't think of anything to do with that momentum.
All right, so you'll bank the 2, and lose the last one. All right, so yeah, you head in. Power's draining. the two of you are frantically punching on the console, and you're bringing it in. The ship is shearing back and forth, but you got a handle on it. Hassar has never done anything like this, but she is vigilant in the face of this unknown task that she's doing, and expertly she takes the ship underneath the saucer, comes up and cuts the engines just at the right moment. She's got a feel for the gravitational pull, and Sovak and Temna and Han are looking at her. She cuts the power a little too soon, and they're wondering, like, well, we're not going to make it. But then all of a sudden, a gravitational current hits the ship and just ever so gently pushes it right into the docking situation. You put the clamps come down, and the ship docks, and you're safe and sound, docked with the Sovereign. So let's
yacht.
cut to
Captain's yacht. Are you okay?
Captain's yacht. What did I say? Oh, you're
Captain's
talking.
yacht. Are you okay?
So
Everyone is fine, thank you, Captain.
so with that, let's cut back to the bridge moments before they dock. Is there anything that you guys want to do right before they dock, or are you ready to move on?
Go to war.
I think we're okay.
Okay, so all right, so you guys are at 6 momentum. All right, so I assume everybody comes back up to the bridge. Is that right?
Yeah, apart from the chief medical officer who's gone to sick bay with the survivor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So you have this. So what do you got? So how is that happening? So you guys are all leaving the captain's yacht, and where are you all deciding to go?
Yeah, I'm assuming the majority of us are heading to the bridge, but I do order the chief medical officer to sickbay with the survivor to, run scans, keep an eye on them, that sort of thing.
Player question.
Yep.
The damage I took last week, was that gone? Or the damage I took 2 weeks ago, was that healed last week? When I got shot with the arrow?
Yes.
Okay.
So you would have recovered. How much? Did you get any stress from that?
I took 2 points.
2 points. Yeah, that would be, those 2 points would be recovered.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So no, then I don't need to go to sickbay. Otherwise, that probably would have been a good idea.
All right. So you're coming. So everybody's coming back to the bridge.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So Hassar is coming back to the bridge. Sovak is coming back to the bridge. And we'll say, just for streamline purposes, we'll say Temna and Han are getting checked out in sick bay before coming back, so they're absent at the moment. But everybody else is back. Well, they should be momentarily. Are you back in your game yet? Why is it not updating? That's weird. Just refresh it. Oh my god, I broke it.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
All right.
He broke it. I
I have to go. I apologize. What is going on? Oh, there we go. All right. I apologize. I do have to step away for a moment, but so I guess we'll go to a commercial break.
Okay, that's fine.
You guys
Commercial
can you guys can discuss strategy for what you want to do next. I'll be right back.
Interesting. So, what do you guys want to discuss strategy-wise?
Yeah. How are you planning on proceeding, Captain?
First things first, I want to find out more about that NX class. I'm very curious about it.
Oh yeah, did anyone beam over? Because wasn't that...
We were about to.
We're about
You
to
were
beam
about to
over
beam-
when you guys showed up. Freaking dicks.
Wow.
I
We
I
are
bring
still
up
alive,
the
by the way.
sensor data from the shuttle, from the captain's yacht, to show where all the mines are located,
Mm,
so that the ship knows stay away from those areas.
Sounds
Yeah.
good to me. Do we know what the range on that?
There's a brief puckering sensation as we look at just how many mines there are and in what proximity.
Okay. Do we know what the range on the mines are?
Too close.
that might be something we could have estimated based on how close we were when it activated.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine Starfleet has like data recorders of its flight, its flight data recorders. So just being able to see, okay, here's our position, and here's when we suddenly start going this way, and we're in this location compared to the mine. That's not difficult math.
Yeah.
Yeah, presumably we've got a reasonable amount of information in our data banks on these ancient ass mines.
Yeah. Fingers crossed we have enough data.
All right.
They're so old. They're at least 3 Romulan character redesigns ago.
All right. So the crew has rejoined together. Everybody is back on the bridge, except for Sayar, who is still down in engineering. And do you guys, James? Do you remember about what happened with tapping into the internal sensors last time?
We found that all the power had been diverted to the what wasn't hydroponics. It was to what was it?
Was it sickbay? I can't remember.
No, it wasn't sickbay. It was
astrometrics, I think.
Astrometrics. That was it.
Yeah, and it wasn't all the power. It was what little power was still there.
Yeah. So we have a good idea that we want to beam to astrometrics and see who we can find.
All right. So the bridge crew has had some conversations about the next steps. What would you guys like to do?
I would like to devise a party to beam down to find out who is inside the bay, find out who is in astrometrics, and I'd like to leave my first officer here in charge of the ship, and I'll lead the team.
Is it wise for you to go yourself, Captain?
You know, it's every first officer's duty to go on away missions, but sometimes the captain himself likes to go on a few. So if there's no objections, I'd like to form a party for going down. I'm dragging my chief engineer with me.
Okay.
Sorry, bud. Because I want to see. I want to see if we can recover the ship. I think that'd be really good. And I'd also like to take, just in case, I'd like to take my chief of security.
Okay.
Okay.
Are there any problems,
Understood,
Chief? Okay, let's
No
beam
problems
over.
at all. I'm on voice link only currently.
Right. Okay. Let's quickly go to. Let's go down to the beaming.
All right. So so it's going to be you and Lieutenant Hassar and Chief Sayar. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And do you want to take any of the support personnel with you? Lance is playing Lieutenant Kurtrax.
Is Kurtrax more helm? I'd rather leave Kurtrax at helm. Do we have any science personnel I'd like to bring along?
Hey, I thought Kurtrax was ops.
Kurtrax is ops, but I mean he can take over
Yeah.
Khan. It's not a big deal. Like
I'll leave-
that
I'll-
happens. That happens all the time when when the helmsman gets killed
Yeah.
or Q snapped or turned into a Borg. I mean, there's a whole list of them being damaged and then Data taking over the con. Like it's not a big deal.
Didn't our helm officer used to be a Cation?
Yeah.
Aurelian. Sorry.
Aurelian.
I mean, same thing.
I think that was intentional.
And he disappeared, and apparently nobody cared. So
That's also a fun thing for the party boat people to come back to the ship and find out. By the way.
Okay.
yeah,
what-
does anybody notice
Oh,
that that Traylar isn't at the helm and that the captain's at the helm?
No, because timey-wimey, and we don't know he exists.
I mean, you watched
Tell me
him
what-
disappear.
Yeah, but timey-wiminess,
Captain,
Actually,
are you
I-
in denial?
Maybe I'm in denial. Okay, do you guys remember Trailer exists? Anyone remember Trailer
I
exists?
do.
You do? Okay, I thought it was going to be timey-wimey stuff. So that's good. Okay, so that means he's not been wiped from existence. That's good to know.
Is this how you handle every crew disappearance, Captain? You just assume they never existed.
Dr.
That is-
Ryder report
I
that
hate
way.
watching my parents fight.
That is most concerning, Captain. I suggest you seek help.
Okay, enough depressing jokes. We do need to get down to the beam down zone. I do want to save Trailer. Okay, let's get down to beam down. Before I say so, let me know when we're down in the beaming in the
Beaming room.
transporter room.
The beaming room, the beaming zone.
Beaming room.
I think my favorite thing was when you called it the beaming zone.
The beaming zone, yeah.
The beaming zone.
Let
All
me
right. So again, it's Hassar, it's Syar, and it's you,
Yeah.
and that's it, right?
It's
Yeah.
you.
It's you.
It's you.
Despite everything, it just still
All of you.
All right, and then so Sovik is in command. Kertrax is at the con, and the doctor is in the sick bay with the unconscious attacker from the planet.
Let me know when we reach when we're down
Okay.
in the beam down in the transporter room.
All right, so you all
Person shredder.
you all exit the bridge.
On my way to the transporter room, I would like to have the ship prepare a extract of what was known about the Atlantis at the time of its disappearance.
So you want to check the computers, the library computers for that?
Yes, and please put it on a pad because we're about to lose our nice late 24th century computer. I'd like to have a reference at hand.
Hmm.
Okay, so you just want to download that information.
Yeah.
Do you want
Also,
to?
how much power? I was going to say, how much power do we not have that you're using to beam over to the ship? Will we be losing?
One power.
Okay. And how much power do we have left?
What's the?
7.
So you're
Seven.
currently at 7. Is that correct,
That's what I
Panda?
have.
All right, so you're currently at
Yep.
7. The captain's yacht has been returned, so I can take that off the launch bay. Okay, so it'll be one power to beam over. All right, so Syar, you after the captain orders you to join him in the transporter room, you immediately look up the whatever information you can find on the Atlantis, and you download it to a pad, and you head to the transporter room.
Can Kertrax assist with the beaming? He does have a focus in transporters to save some power.
No, it's because of the anomaly. It's a automatic power loss. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it. And it's not, the beaming won't be a it won't be a task or anything. It's an automatic. It's just something that'll happen. So,
Sir, off the record,
Yes, sir.
did you ever work on any ships like this back then?
Sire kind of side eyes the captain and then side eyes Hisar. Looks forward without making eye contact and says, "Not intact. No."
Okay, that's fine. Let's get over there.
All right, so you nod to the transporter chief, and they activate the transporters. And where exactly do you want to beam to?
Preferably astrometrics.
Directly into astrometrics?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, here we go.
What about the nice cozy bridge?
There's no oxygen on the bridge.
There's-
It's decompressed.
Yeah, it's decompressed.
Like I said, cozy.
Wow. All right. I apologize. The maps are taking so long to load in.
I think he wants to kill me off. Can I complain?
All right. So you are going. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. No, I put the fog on. That's why you can't see anything. Okay. So you are beaming in directly to the directly into the astrometrics lab. And this is what you will find. Pay no attention to the numbers, the red numbers. They mean nothing.
Okay.
They're just from the map. This is the only map I could find. So, all right. So, the
Pay
captain,
no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Hisar, and that's Sayar, and then Hisar. So you materialize into the room, and there's one person inside the room, and they look at you shocked, and he says, where did you come from? Who are you?
Sorry to be a bother. We are from the future. Timey-wimey stuff involved. Enough of that said, do you require assistance?
The future? Is your ship also trapped in the anomaly?
Yes, we believe so. We believe we've crossed paths with you. Unfortunately, I have to say, your ship was declared missing over 200 years ago.
Oh my. Well, this certainly is a development. Have you how is the war with the Romulans?
The war with the Romulans, that ended over 200 years ago.
So we're no longer at war?
Well, we've had our grapes and bruises here and there, but we're no longer at war with the Romulans, no. Do you?
Well, yes.
Do you require assistance? I have a trained engineer here, and if there's any tactical need, I also have a very well-trained security officer as well.
Sorry, just give me one moment.
House trained too.
Wow.
I gotta say, nameless science dude is handling the surprise first contact encounter really well.
Mm.
Suppose when you encountered so much temporal Cold War stuff.
Would these people have even seen Cations?
That's my point.
I mean,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
certainly around at it would. I think at this point in Starfleet history, it would not be a surprise. Like, I don't think it would be as shocking as other stuff. So,
It is the NX-5, to be fair. So it's a few years into the Romulan War, I suppose.
So he kind of is puzzled. He's clearly working on some kind of data crunching, and he says well, that would be difficult because the engineers don't let us go near their department anymore.
The engineers don't let you go near the department anymore. Are the engineers even there anymore?
I'm not sure I should be discussing this with you without the commander's say so.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there because we have the correct command codes for now. So I'm going to show you the command codes that I brought with me, that we discovered. I discovered during last episode. And hopefully that will give us the clearance.
Well, it's a little bit. I'm sorry to have to do this. Guards! So he backs away from the console. He screams for guards to come in, and 2 command personnel come in with phase pistols drawn, and they run in and say, "Hold it right there! Drop your weapons!"
Everyone get to cover.
Oh, so we're going this way, huh? All right.
Is this a console? Are these consoles that J shape, L shape, backwards J? Is that consoles like low?
These? Yeah.
Yes,
These are consoles. These are like desks, so you can, and this is a console over here too, so you can, yeah. So,
Forgot. We have pointers, don't we?
yeah. If you right click, and you can change the color of the pointer too, using the paintbrush thing. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Where's the pointer? Using it's the teardrop thing. Yeah,
Teardrop.
there it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
So,
all right.
all right. So we're in combat now, and because it is their ship, they're gonna go first. Unless you would like to spend momentum to steal initiative.
How much momentum we got?
You're full at 6. Oh, sorry. Let me put the momentum counters on here.
Up.
Let's spend momentum to go first, guys.
Okay.
Can you see that? You can't see that, can you?
So far, no.
Hang on. Oh, let me fix it. I'll fix it.
While
Just
Tony's sorting that out, I'm going to explain my plan to you guys.
Oh, hang on. You can't. So you're gonna steal. So you're gonna steal. You're gonna steal momentum. So you're gonna steal initiative. So then you'll have. So then you'll each have a round of where you can do a minor action and a major action. So if you have your reference sheets, that would be good to have.
Would be good, wouldn't it?
All right. So let me uncover this. All right. You see that up there?
We see it.
Great. All right. So you have 6 momentum. So I believe it's 2. I believe it's 2 momentum to take initiative.
We'll spend 2 momentums to take initiative, please.
All right. So who is going first?
I'll let my tactical officer handle it first.
Okay. I am going to. You said we get a minor and a major?
Yeah. So you can take a minor action, and a major action, and a major whatever. Yeah, whatever. It's on the cheat sheet you got there.
I see. Yeah. Really, the zoom on these things is not great.
On the PDF or on the map?
On the PDF.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I pulled the one up that's in our folder, and yeah,
Gotcha.
the zoom is not great. Okay, so draw weapon and attack.
All right. Which
Draw my phaser and fire.
and who are you targeting first?
Oops, gotta go back to the
Wide angle.
Oh, yeah. Could I do that? Yes. Wide angle stun.
Wide angle stun.
Wide angle stun. Yes.
All right. So. Oh gosh. Okay. So that's going to be a difficulty of 4 because you're trying to hit 2 targets, and they will both be opposing you.
Oh. Okay. All right. We'll see what we got here.
Spend some momentum to get extra die.
Yeah. we'll see what. Okay. Small unit tactics. There's 3 of us. We're in a very small area,
Yep,
and
I
there's
would
2
I
of
would
them.
take that. Is that a
Okay.
Is that a
That's
talent?
a focus.
Oh, it's a focus.
That's
okay.
a focus.
All right.
That is a focus. Okay, so I got that focus. Start with the 2 dice. And then... Let's see, so you used 2 of the momentum to steal.
Yeah, so you're at 4.
We're at 4. Alright. So... I will use 1 momentum.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not an opposed task because it's a ranged
It's not
attack.
opposed?
Sorry.
Okay, so how many...
So it's still a difficulty of 4 because it's 2
Still
2 targets.
2 targets. Okay, so spend a momentum to buy an extra die.
Yep.
And then... So now we're up to 2 momentum or threat, right?
Correct.
All right. Take 2 threat.
Gladly.
Bold security. Whenever you attempt a task with security, you can buy 1 or more d20s. By adding threat, you may reroll a single die.
Okay. All right. So you are so you're rolling 3?
I'm rolling 4.
You're rolling 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you bought 1, and then you bought 1 with momentum, and then 1 with
momentum.
1 with threat. Gotcha. Okay.
And 1 with threat.
And so
just
you can
to make
reroll.
certain. Just to make certain.
Yeah.
I have no determination, or did I get that back?
You spent it. You'll get it back in the next mission.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure.
Mission. Yeah.
Otherwise, I was going to say I've got another value here I can use. But
yeah. So what's your control security?
10 and 4.
10 and 4. Okay, so 14. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Roll them.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's see. There's a 2,
Yes.
and there's another 2, and there's a 5,
Ooh.
and there's an 8.
Yes.
So that's 2, 4, 6.
That-
6
that
successes,
is-
right?
Yeah, the 2 2s are below my security of 4.
Yep.
And then a
So
5 and
that's
an
6.
8
All
are
right.
below 14. Fire my phaser,
So that
and they all
gives
fall
you
down.
One shot, one kill.
that gives you
Recover,
two-
P, shoot to kill.
They're not. It's, she specifically said
I did.
stun.
It's done, I know.
Let's make this the real grim dark sovereign.
Oh.
Disintegration on site.
Oh.
So
Sovereign.
So Hisar, does her chief security thing. She, as soon as the captain yells, "Get to cover," she pulls out her phaser. She sets it to the wide beam, and she fires. And so roll 5.
Phaser
sorry.
damage.
I'm sorry. Is
No, my phaser damage is not 5.
it? No, sorry. I'm looking at something else.
Oh, okay.
Roll. 7, right? Yeah, it's 7.
Yeah.
Yep, 7.
Wow, my phaser damage is 7 of these guys.
All right. So roll 7.
And we've got 1 Klingon symbol, a delta, 2 2s, a 1, and a blank.
Nice.
3 effects, 2 2s, and a 1, and a blank.
So how many bursts total?
The total amount for the bursts is 5.
It's 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't account the 3 extra that I get from the effects.
Ooh.
So that's 8.
so that's 8. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So that's 8 damage, and how many? I don't think the weapon has any effects.
Does it?
Sorry, I keep looking at the wrong weapon. No, charges, which is that's just that's a quality that I think you can do. You can charge it or something.
I'd have to look that up. I don't remember myself either.
All right, so that's going to be... So we're going to split that damage evenly between the two. So that's going to bring them down to 5 stress each. All right, and they are successfully knocked out. So you stun them and you beam them. You wide beam them and you stun them. And I'm going to spend 2 threat to bring in...
Additional security.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? I'm going to bring in 2 more. Oh, no. Whoops. Wrong number. That's how much I'm spending. That's how much it should be. All right. So, right behind them is another pair of personnel that you hear running down the hall, and they enter the room. So it's still and now. So not only did they did not enter the room, but they are now covered. They're now covered behind the doors.
Okay, I'm going to let my chief engineer go next.
Are you letting them all go so that you can figure out what to set on fire?
I am the Fire King.
I'm the Fire King. Wow. Okay. All right. So, All right, cool. So, all right, so they're hidden. They're hidden a little bit behind the doors. Let's see. There you go. You should see that now. All right, so Chief Engineer, what are you gonna do?
Well, not likely being even in their even if they were in good position. Sayar's not the combat badass, so he would not be able to like drop either of them or really inconvenience them much.
So what would you like to do?
So, I would like Sayar to move behind the L-shaped console.
Okay.
So he's going to chill there. For his minor action, and then it's not truly a combat task. Well, maybe it is. Okay, so formally I will assist the captain with their task when he goes next. Narratively, Sayar is looking around the room if there's anything he can use as a environmental hazard.
Okay.
Probably won't be able to flip the gravity on them this quickly, but like, gee, that's a nice explodable looking panel right next to the guard's head. He fights dirty is what I'm saying.
Ooh.
Bad kitty.
Wow.
You don't always have to be the strongest to survive, just the smartest.
A wise saying. Like my turn?
Yep, it's your turn.
Yep.
Okay, during my turn, I am going to dash behind this little wall here. Let me just select my guy.
Okay.
I'm going to dash behind cover here. And then I'm going to attempt to quote Starfleet protocol at them to try and convince them that we are members of Starfleet.
Okay. All right. So that's gonna be a command presence. But before you do that, tell us what you say to them.
Make sure you do it very captainly.
We may look different from you, but we are the same. We may be 200 years apart, but Starfleet is still Starfleet. The Federation may be new to you, but for me, it has been around for centuries. You guys were heroes to me. I read about you in my books. I read about the crew of the Atlantis and how brave they were. Do you really think that shooting at fellow Starfleet officers who admired you their entire life is just, is right? Not to mention Starfleet protocol dictates that you shouldn't fire at a fellow officer, let alone a captain. Although you are senior to me in experience, I am a captain. You would be court-martialed for this. Think about what you're doing.
All right. So that's going to be a presence command check with a difficulty of 4.
I'd like to buy 2 more dice.
Okay.
If you have a real nice value you could burn, now might be the time, Captain.
My value I'm going to burn is going to be...
No, so I think you used your value last.
I've already used my...
Yeah, so you don't have any more determination.
I do have, however, my talent, which is veteran.
Okay.
And veteran states, the character-wise, I am wise and experienced, and I can draw upon inner reserves of willpower and determination, and I'm more measured in a considerate way. Whenever the character spends a point of the turn, have you already used my
Yeah,
determination?
I think you did that last time, and I think you failed to get it back,
dude.
right? You didn't
Sad
get it
times.
back, right?
I think it succeeded. I just got an extra roll. That's all I get. I get an extra roll. That's fine. I'd like to spend some momentum to get some dice, and I don't mind putting some more threat on as well.
So that would end up being all 3 momentum for 2 dice.
Hang on, sorry. So you had Nova, you had two momentum left over from there.
Oh, okay.
So that you're actually at 5. It's fine.
We're at 5. Okay.
So you're at 5.
But it still would be 3 momentum to get 2 dice.
3,
and then you'd have to give him 3 threat.
That's fine.
For the last
I'll
time.
do it.
Okay, so you're gonna spend 3 to get 2 dice, and then you're gonna give me 3 threat to get a 3rd die.
Wasn't Sayar assisting?
Alright, so I did the assist action. We had narratively set it as like trying to set up the battlefield in a way that would favor us.
Maybe you piped his speech throughout the whole ship.
You know, I have served under Captain Shepard for several years at this point. I would know his predilection for theatrics. And
So explain.
That's one thing of calling it.
So explain to me how you're assisting him in his speech.
Are you playing a flute?
So very quickly, there are a lot of things wrong with the command structure on this ship, namely that we have apparently devolved into tribalism, with the engineers don't allow us in their section. So let's get everyone on the same page. Yes, I am broadcasting Captain Shepard's speech to the rest of the Atlantis. If nothing else, just to confuse the hell out of them.
Unfortunately, the power systems on the Atlantis are shot to the point where that would not be possible. The best you could do is you could broadcast it to the immediate sections around this area.
You just
nothing.
You just repeat everything he says, but in a louder voice.
Okay. So Panda for Sayar, that's going to be a control engineering assist. All right. So
and I have to have a focus in Starfleet protocol as well.
Aha!
Great. Sure. Well, let's do it. All right. So James, what's your presence command?
Okay, so my presence is 8 and my command is 5.
So
Giving me 13.
All right. Do you have any focuses to apply here?
I have inspirational, Starfleet protocol. You take your pick.
Yeah, either one of those will apply. All right. And then Panda, what's your control engineering?
Control engineering is 15 with a Starfleet protocol focus.
Yeah, and what's your engineering by itself?
5.
Okay. All right. So so James, you're rolling 5 dice, right?
Yes, 5 dice.
And Panda, you're rolling 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay, 12 and 10 the first 2. 6 and 16, so 1 fail. And I get 1 more die. Oh, 19. Oh.
All right. And for you, Panda?
10.
10? Okay.
Ooh.
So that's 1, 2, 3. So that's the 4.
That's the 4. Oh.
Okay. All right. So that's the 4. Okay.
I guess I can put AV nerd on my list of talents as well.
Captain Shepard, sort of, he hides behind a console. He puts his hands up and he pleads with them to the best of his ability. The one of the command officers says, who are you? Where did you come from?
My name is Captain James Shepard from the USS Sovereign. We're an NX class, just like you, but from 200 years in the future. Your ship has been trapped inside this wormhole for over 200 years. You are in my time period. And your ship is surrounded by mines, Romulan mines, that could detonate at any moment.
Yes, we're well aware of some of the dangers, and we're well aware of the Romulan device that's powering this anomaly.
Wait. Romulan device to powering the anomaly?
Well, what else would it be?
Wormhole, space-time fissure. There's a number of things it could be. But why do you think it was caused by the Romulans?
Because we're in the middle of a war with the Romulans.
The war has been over for 200 years. I'm afraid to say you guys disappeared 200 years ago.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. We've only been in this anomaly for 6 years.
6 years?
Sorry, 2 years. Sorry,
2 years.
The shuttle pod was on the planet for 6 years.
I'm afraid to say that...
Wait, is that right? Great, now I'm forgetting.
I think that might be right.
What did I tell you about the shuttle pod?
I'm assuming it's been there for 2 years. 2 years it makes sense.
Is that what I told you guys, Selleck?
Yeah, it was either 2 or 6 years it'd been there.
Oh,
it certainly hadn't been there for 200.
I think the Romulan ship had been there for 6 years, and the Federation shuttle pod had been there for.
No,
okay, so everything on the planet was there for 6 years. So the ship, so she's saying that the Atlantis has been in the anomaly for 2 years.
2 years.
Which is roughly equivalent to how we read it on sensors as having been exposed to the effects of the anomaly.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
30 months.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that. I forgot. Sorry, I got my things mixed up.
Look, is there anything that we can provide you? A trade, if you will, that will allow us to take us to your leader. I have security clearance. I'm going to say the codes that I have out loud.
Okay.
Security clearance FV45217. That is your command code that the captain only knows. Yet I know it. So how can I know these codes?
Well, unfortunately, the captain's dead, so we can't verify those codes. If you want to talk to the acting captain, Captain Mallory, then you need to allow our science officer to scan you to make sure you're who you say you are and that you're not one of these alien invaders.
Okay. I'm coming out now. You can scan me, take me to Mallory, but do not harm the rest of my crew. Okay, I'm coming out. My hands are up. I'm unarmed.
Are you ordering the rest of your crew to allow this scan?
I'm ordering the rest of the crew to allow the scan.
And Sayar,
this might see...
you look like you want to say something, Sayar.
Sayar punches the name Mallory into the pad to figure out, okay, who is this dude who is apparently now running the show?
So very quickly you punch in Mallory in your database and it comes up as the first officer of the Atlantis at the time of disappearance was Commander Caitlin Mallory.
It might seem a bit old-fashioned, but take me to your leader.
So So the science officer that's in the room sort of comes out of hiding. He comes over. He scans. He scans the captain. He scans Hisar. He scans Sayar. He walks over to the two security officers. He shows them the scans. They sort of, whisper to each other, and he sort of is indicating that you are who you say you are. They don't believe him at first, and he has to kind of convince them that you don't pose any danger, any immediate danger. So he sort of steps aside, and they come in, and she says, "All right, I'll take you to Mallory, but you need to give me all your weapons."
Okay, you can have our weapons, but be aware these weapons are far more advanced than what you're used to. If you start fiddling with these, you could blow up the entire ship. Do you understand me?
Yeah. So they go over, they collect the weapons from each officer. She says, "Come with me." And then she looks at the science officer and she says, "Get the doctor up here to tend to these two." And you all exit out the corridor and follow her out. And then let me just set up the next map here. Let's see. So we have the captain is there.
Sovek's watching on census being like, they've stunned several officers and given up their weapons. Things are proceeding apace.
Wow, that's amazing.
Commander Sovek is just bummed because he's already lost out in the how long will it take to set something on fire pool.
Captain set fire to their minds.
Captain dropped some lit rhetoric.
All right.
That is not going to win you the pool, sir. I'm sorry.
There are two constants in this universe. One, that the captain will lose his shirt, and two, the captain will speech.
Well, I'm going to do that.
Keep talking all you want, Commander. The rules of the betting pool specifically say combustion event. So, metaphors will not work for you here.
I'm going to speak to the guards very politely and say, "Can I take my hands off my head now?"
Yeah, but don't make any sudden moves.
Okay. Really hurts your arms.
No sudden, unexpected speeches.
No sudden, unexpected speeches. All right, so you guys are at... Let me just see here. You guys are at... I'm at what, 10 threat? Is that what we had in the last map?
Possibly. I think we got up to 9, but...
I did not
Oh, was it 9? Yeah, maybe
it was 9, yeah.
Yeah, after you spent...
I spent
Yeah, that's
3
right,
threat.
that's right. And then you guys are down to 2? No, 3. You're down to 3?
No, 2.
I spent 3, so we got 2 left.
Yeah. Yeah, because we had 5 and he bought 2 dice.
Yeah, okay, so you're down to 2.
It's worth it.
And then...
Just so you folks know, the charge quality on the phaser is what allows you to do things like the wide beam. It's technically it's supposed to be a minor action for you to adjust the phaser settings.
That occurred to me after we had done all that. I remembered that, so yeah, that's my fault for forgetting that. So, but we'll remember that for next time. No worries.
Besides, I talked them down in the end. It was fine.
After 2 of their compatriots lay stunned on the floor.
We come in peace, shoot and speech, shoot and speech.
That's my motto.
It's kind of a surprise that they went along with what you said, considering you said Starfleet officers don't attack each other.
Okay, I'd like to state that they pulled the phasers out on me first. I simply said hi.
All right, so they lead you.
The tried and true, they started it defense. Got it.
They lead you back to they lead you back to the they lead you back to the command center, and they bring you into this room, and in the room are two officers, and they are they have their phasers, and they're sitting there, and one of them is First Officer Caitlin Mallory, the acting captain, and she says, "So, my science officer tells me that you're real. How did you get here?"
Our ship is right outside the window.
Well, unfortunately, our sensors are trained on directly onto the center of the anomaly to try to figure out what this Romulan weapon is doing and how we can break free.
Your crewman mentioned you've been trapped in this anomaly for 6 years. What have you been doing this time?
2 years.
Sorry, for 2 years. What have you been doing this entire time?
Surviving, mostly.
Okay, well,
Are you aware of the problem we've been having on board?
What's the problem?
And she kind of looks at the officer next to her, and he kind of shakes his head like he doesn't want her to tell you guys anything. And she turns back and she says, "Well, Captain, it appears as though," and just as she's about to say something, there is a commotion out in the hall, and the guards burst in and say, "It's happening! It's happening! There's a firefight on." Hang on, let me get the deck right. On D deck. There's a firefight on D deck, and the chief engineer's involved. And
Shoot.
the captain says, the acting captain says, "And who told you all this?" And in through the door walks a very young Traylar Wynn in an Atlantis uniform with a phaser, and he has arrived to tell his superior officer, acting Captain Mallory, about the firefight. And
Timey-wimey.
and that is where we will end for tonight. And thank you, Lance, for being here the whole night. I'm sorry we didn't get there sooner.
You should definitely have to roll a composure check on that.
So
I
yeah,
knew timey-wimey shit was involved.
that is where we will end for the night.
Captain, we are literally up past our asses in timey-wimey shit.
I know.
So thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. I think we all had a pretty good time. Just a reminder that every Saturday night is our live stream show. And that starts at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we will get together and talk about all the latest Star Trek Online news and go on an away team. Excuse me. Nova, you're on the show tomorrow night, right? What's the plan for tomorrow?
For the away mission? Or...
Yeah, for the away mission.
Badlands.
Badlands. So, so join us tomorrow night. We're gonna go for the Badlands. There'll be some giveaways, so that'll be a good time. Also on Mondays or Tuesdays, James here does Accolade Hunter, and he searches out those pesky accolades and tries to find those. That's roughly about.
And TFO Thursdays.
What time? What time do you usually do Accolade Hunter?
8 o'clock my time till 11 o'clock, so it's
about 3 p.m. 3 p.m.
3
Eastern.
3 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, and it's usually on Mondays, sometimes on Tuesdays. So keep an eye on our social media channels to find out about that. And on Wednesdays, on our YouTube channel, we do a Star Trek gaming news show that just is a rundown of the latest Star Trek gaming news across all platforms, mobile, console. And if you missed it, James did a 10-hour stream of the newest Star Trek Prodigy game, Supernova, and was unable to order out and had to eat chicken nuggets. Anyway, it was the best part of the stream. And as Nova mentioned,
sacrifices we all make.
Have you recovered from that, James?
I must admit, the whole reason I moved Accolade Hunter because it got to Monday night, and I was just like,
oh,
so I was
okay.
like, so
But have you recovered at this point from that?
I'm still a little bit dazed. I feel like I am, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
You beat it, and you got a few of the devs to watch you.
I know. I had the devs
That's
at the end.
cool.
That was the highlight.
what devs from the Prodigy game or devs from the
From Prodigy.
From the Prodigy game.
showed up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they came and they congratulated me, and they were like, "Thank you for playing our game. We worked really hard."
Oh, that's awesome.
And they were there for when the credits were rolling, which was really cool. And they were talking a little bit about it, and they basically said,
cool.
"Thank you so much." And they complimented on me on my puzzle solving ability, because I said I didn't think I was very good. They're like, no, you got through some pretty hard puzzles. And there you
Look at
go.
you.
Mm.
And as Nova mentioned, every Thursday now we're streaming TFO Thursdays, which starts at 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern. And that's for Armada member. You can watch us, but if you're an Armada member, you can join us and queue up for those TFOs where we run them for about an hour, I think, right? We do it for about an hour. So yeah, and then next Friday you'll see us again, and we'll continue to see what happens now that we've discovered a young Trailar Wynn is on board the Atlantis. So for the crew of the USS Sovereign, thank you very much for watching, and everybody say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.